Live from Nasdaq's MarketSite, I'm your host, Christina Ayanian, and joining me today is CEO and co-founder of Workato, Vijay Tella. Vijay, thank you so much for joining us.
Christina, thank you for having me here. Really appreciate it.
Now, to start us off, can you talk to us a bit about what Workato does and who some of your customers are?
Over the last 10 years, there's just been an explosion of applications and technologies, and all of this, as individually they were all great, but they fragmented how we work. Our data and our understanding of our business is split across all these different applications. So what Workato does is to connect all of these applications together and automate workflows across all of them. So, for example, if you want to, sort of improve your customer experience or onboarding, or you want to reduce the time it takes to follow up on a marketing lead, you could use this thing called Workato recipes to describe how you want to orchestrate how all of that gets done across all of your applications and systems and data. So Workato just is a master orchestrator of how all of that comes together.
That's really interesting. So it seems like you're bridging the gap between applications, streamlining productivity, streamlining operations, and really acting as that trusted source for businesses.
Yeah, it's almost like when you go look at a company exists to do a job for their customers. It's how they get the job done internally across all their systems. And it's usually not like organized or it's just manual and piecemeal. So Workato helps you define how you want to get all this done across all the work across all of these applications, and then automates them. And once you have it described somewhere, it's easy to improve and iterate on it.
Absolutely. Well. When you started the company almost 10 years ago, what need did you see in the market?
Yeah, it's a great question, because integration technologies are not new. I was as part of the early team at a company called TIBCO, which was sort of created this space. And I was part of the team that created that. But when you look at over the last 10 years, there are three big changes that have happened. One is the scale of just the cloud and SaaS movement. It's just exploded the number of applications and cloud platforms out there the companies use. So the integration problem has grown exponentially. So that's one. The second thing is the scope of what you're looking to do has changed. Back in the day when we started TIBCO, we used to call what we call plumbing. So we would be plumbing, connecting the data between different applications in the back, like the IT people would typically do it. But now this fragmentation is affecting how our work gets done across the company. So it's the scope of what you need to do in terms of bringing together workflows, data, experiences is much bigger than it ever was. So that's the second. One is scale. The second is the scope of the use cases. And the third is this movement over the last 10 years to consumerization, cloud, has been driven by business people as much as IT. So it was important for them to be able to put together their own workflows and be able to make their systems work together, rather than only wait to kind of toss this over the wall to IT to get the project done somewhere. Some other time. So it's really bringing in more stakeholders into the equation. So when you look at all of this, just the number of integrations, the scale, the type of integration, so the scope of what you need to do, and who needs to do it, it's all completely different. So we felt what was needed was something that is much more modern, utility-oriented, low-code kind of an approach, which can bring the whole company together in doing this. So that's why we created Workato.
I love that point that you make about bringing in more stakeholders and really involving the entire company, because nowadays automation is not only limited to developers, but it's to everyone who might not be a software engineer or in that software space.
Absolutely. I think, in fact, there's so much opportunity and I'd say need for the companies to kind of innovate and change. And that change can't be just in the hands of a few people. In fact, IT, I think, has a much more important role to play in this world, where as the business teams are being are able to access these technologies, they still need the security and governance and some of the scale that IT understands. So the relationship in IT and business is very different now, and they both have to be more together to make this happen.
Now, you're really bringing your expertise not only internally and with your customers, but you're bringing your expertise externally to a broader audience. You're launching a new book called The New Automation Mindset. Congratulations on that. And this is all about business leaders and how they can leverage automation and this AI boom. Is there a strategy in how you're releasing this book? Is there a strategy as to why you're releasing it now?
Yeah, absolutely. Very much so. When you look at sort of the big transformation initiatives for the last 10 years, most of them have failed. I know it's because, things remain very fragmented, inflexible, hard to change, and, they don't, projects don't get done in a reasonable bit of time. So the big question now is AI going to change that? Is it going to really help us get over this hump of transforming our companies and becoming more competitive? I think the key message of the book is that it's the organizational mindset that is going to be important in this world of AI more than just the technology. So it's our mindset is going to dictate how we're going to apply AI, whether we're going to think holistically from the bigger picture and are not afraid to make changes. It's those kind of things that are going to make it's going to really determine the success of AI. So this kind of mindset is not new. I have had the good fortune of working with some amazing companies like FedEx and Amazon, Grab, and Nike in my at TIBCO, at Workato, and other places. And these companies had this unique mindset where they looked at things from a systems thinking perspective, a broader perspective, and they were not afraid to break things a little bit, and so that they can build them back better than their competitors. So the big change now is that you don't need to have the resources of a FedEx or an Amazon to kind of make this kind of a transformation. I think with AI and this low-code automation, it is really applying this kind of mindset, which we call the new automation mindset, that will make this a kind of transformation accessible to everybody. So I wrote this book as a guide for business and IT leaders to be able to kind of adopt AI in a more holistic way.
It's more of a behavioral technology book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, they really go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, with the embrace of ChatGPT and the whole AI boom, you really express your point of view in the book. What is your point of view? Can you summarize that for us?
Yeah, maybe I'll use an example to kind of summarize some of the key points there. So with whenever there is a new technology, like most technologies are about automation. AI is like automation on steroids. So whenever there's a new technology, you are looking to the tendency is to kind of look at how you're doing today and pick bits and pieces of it and automate that. So you look at, okay, with AI now, can I replace my paralegals with it? Can I replace my customer support people with it? Can I replace my data entry people with it? I think that type of thinking will give you some cost savings and some boost in the short term, but I think you're going to miss the bigger point of AI, which is that when you apply, think about this more broadly, you can do things like, okay, maybe I can make my service more self-service, right? And the concept of support is not like, okay, I'm tossing the product over the wall and waiting for support tickets, but you're more engaged with your customer as part of your product. So there's, you're rethinking how, as a company, you're serving customers, expanding your markets. So that's the the big point about the book is that there is this incredible opportunity in front of us. It's AI, but AI is sort of the brains, and then automation is like your hands to actually get what AI comes with to actually get it done. So you have all these incredible technologies around AI and low-code automation that we can apply more strategically to fundamentally become more competitive and stronger.
Absolutely. And businesses need to embrace this. Now, businesses are reshaping faster than ever before, and that adaptability is crucial. And your book now serves as a tool for that.
Yeah, adaptability is a key point. So, I think adaptability may even understate the point. So I think So whenever there's a big change, right? The pandemic happened, AI is coming, technology change, whatever change, companies always adapt, right? When the pandemic came, we all got on Slack and Zoom, and it's. But there are some companies, like I think there's companies like Grab and Toast that with the restaurant, they went from a restaurant point of sale company to like a full-fledged restaurant ERP solution. So when you kind of are hit with these changes, companies that are not just adapting, but actually reworking themselves around these big changes. So they're expanding their markets and doing something different. Those are the ones that, the word that Nassim Taleb uses for it is anti-fragile companies. I call them unstoppable, because if you are like, whenever you're hit with shocks, you come out of it stronger. What can stop you, right?
Absolutely.
So so I think adaptability is key, but it's actually like more than just adaptability. It's actually embracing that change and not be afraid to break things a little bit.
Do you think that we're going to live in a world one day where AI is not going to be a subsector of technology? It's just going to be embedded and integrated into companies?
100%. So I think the way, so there's going to be, there's a lot of the general purpose language models that have come that are just like absolutely mind blowing. It's opened up everybody's like sort of horizons on how they're thinking about it. But there's also going to be a large, just like what happened with SaaS, there's going to be a large number of domain specific or healthcare specific or like LLMs that are coming up now, right? Legal, HR, that are little brains. Now company, you have humans, you have like this digital brains that are like doing some very smart inferencing based on the data that's in your company, and then you have these applications. It's how you are orchestrating all of that, right? That I think this will affect every business, and I think every function in every business.
Absolutely. What is one thing that people should expect to learn when they read your book?
Yeah, I think pragmatically, I think the idea of a business strategy as a separate thing from technology strategy or IT strategy, I think is gone. It's used to be the business folks come up with like their plans, and then IT will then translate that into how it maps out into technology. I think in this world of AI, this technology is inherently accessible to like a larger set of people. But at the same time, the role of IT becomes more important, because the business teams don't understand things like security and scale and guardrails. So like, you can create technical debt and go out of, haywire. So it's how we are applying these democratized technologies at scale. It's going to really just IT and business are going to converge and become one.
Absolutely.
And they're going to, it's not going to be, they're going to be working better with each other. It's going to be like a, much more of a collaborative approach going forward.
It's a unified effort and a unified team rather than acting as siloed teams within a company.
So the lines between IT and business, I'm not going to, it's going to blur. Their roles are different, but they're going to be more unified. They will have to be in order for AI to really happen at scale in enterprise.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Vijay. We look forward to continue following and having you back at Nasdaq soon. And congratulations on your book. Looking forward to reading it.
Well, thank you, Christina.